Alright. This is a game. It's been out on PS4 for a while. It's been out on PC. Good? All caps. I did not want that. Oh my gosh, stop. That's annoying. He wants me to all cap my name. I don't want that. Let's fix the gender first. There we go.
What could that have done? Look out! Look out! I see a trap nearby.
I like that voice. Let's make her... That's pretty. I like that. Can't see a whole lot of the details on the face. But this is a turn-based Dungeons and Dragons type game, for lack of better terms. It's really interesting. And I just wanted to show everybody. I've never played it all the way through, which I am ashamed to say. I like that one. Okay, so that. Now let's make her a ranger. Those are some pretty good starting skills. Okay. For our let's give ourselves a guy over here. I'll name him after my most favoriteest guy. And it's matching underwear. No, he's not getting a Bob Ross bra. Sorry, guys. That's not bad. Not the monk. Ooh, that was horrible. Not a lot of options for hair for the guys. A little disappointed there. Ooh, yes. Let's give him a goatee. Let's see what different kinds they have. Go with that one. That's not bad.
Have I got anything that needs a good firing?
I may have a blade or two that could use a honing.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
I like the rogue voice. It's the best voice. And give them various types of personalities. Let's make him a free spirit, because that seems appropriate. Some of these portraits could be better. Okay. And then instead of a witch or a wizard. That sounds good. Let's see what his skills are. No. No, I don't want to go back to main menu. Okay. Let's get this party started.
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between
Son of mine,
Riverlong
it's time for your friends
and
to
the
go
dark
home.
power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
The weather's supposed to be getting nasty soon. I don't want them trying to walk home in rain and ice and stuff. Did you get your room good and clean?
Rise and
Mama
shine,
favor?
Master Sauce Hunters.
Put this in the sink, make sure the
wants
coffee
you up
makes
on
off.
deck.
Maybe a small cup of ice and soda?
Hear them gulls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master
No,
Sauce
you can make
Hunters.
some Kool-Aid.
City's full of undead, hungry and out for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil, nowhere's safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off on the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
As far as I know, this game is also out on PC. I don't know if it's out on Xbox as well. But we got it on when it was on sale. I know the second Divinity is out, but I haven't bought it because I haven't finished the first one yet. Alright. So you do have camera control. You can hold down X to search an area. It does have autosave, and you can save a lot of areas too. Yes, son of mine. We'll see.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Shells. Shells are like worth 1 copper penny a piece. They're not really worth all that much. It's always good to do a broad search sometimes when things are small and hard to see. Wander around here. Make sure you find all of your crates. Because right now you are like piss poor broke. Poison arrows, yes. I will gladly take those. Do special abilities and equip various stuff like poison arrows. those will be down in your hot bar. And that's where you get to use those. Here comes the very first fight.
Source hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
You will be fighting a lot of undead in this game. Okay, so now it's my turn. I can either move or I can attack, which either one is going to spin.
This is the end!
Point.
For you! Die, vermin!
Alright, forward. I want you. Oh, I don't have enough action points to move that far. Let's move right here. The action points you don't use will save up for your next turn. To end your turn, hold circle.
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside?
Pick that up, because if nothing else, we could sell it later. Okay, so, and they will have moments.
Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking?
And there is not a lack of questions.
We can't well turn away from such an odious show of source. Let's investigate the tomb, see what answers it might reveal.
And it doesn't really give you much on your backstory for why you're here, but you're here to investigate a murder.
Indeed, for all
and
we
it
know.
Just gets more complicated from there. You can easily switch between characters. You can play this offline with a second person, or if you're willing to, I don't know how it is for PC, but on PS4, for you to play online with 4 separate people, you have to have a PlayStation Plus account. And well, I've got kids to feed. I don't have $10 a month to spare for me and my husband each. There is a specialized skill you can buy later, which allows you to talk to the animals, which is pretty funny. So their stuff is really, really funny. I want to open... Oh, it's locked. I have to find some lock picks. Candles. Broken vase. Let's go look down here. I have to move some of this stuff back. But first... let's take stuff. Knock down arrows. Nice. Find more fluids. More knockdown arrows. Okay. So now we want to move some of these. So let's move this one. Yes, I know you can't throw that far. I don't want to throw it there. I just want to clear a path.
Careful! There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
Put those. Here. Okay. Gotta watch out for those mines. They are tricky. They will blow up and kill you. Oil plastic good too. Watch out for the mines. can create stuff in this game as well with crafts. We'll get crafting tools.
This
a
seems
lot
to
of
be
what
broken.
is in these bases and
I've
stuff
always
is
heard
random.
there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
Old parchments. Smoke grenades. Did not see a whole lot there. Oh, there's a... Nope, they're both broken. Okay. So, how do I get...
I've spotted something interesting.
Oh. It's a lock. Okay, can't go that way yet. There's another route through here. Can't quite remember if I have to access all of this from another side. I think so. Shame. I really wanted to get in this chest. You have to have lockpicks and skills in lockpicking. So, here we go. Here. I've not explored this part of the beach yet. This guy here.
Oh, mighty ocean, how I pine for thee. Look, look! A wanderer comes my way, walking the sands upon which this poor shell must suffer. Call me Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell, doomed to live under a canopy of arid sky, not his native tender water. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and plucked the vermin out of their neighbor's fur. Time is an indulgent mistress to one who spends happy hours as she passes. But when your existence is one of misery, she becomes a lethargic hobby. Oh, I remember ancient times, for I have lain here since antiquity, when the ruins around us were palaces, and the sun-bleached dead merry children. All this I have seen, alive, alone. Alas.
On the voice acting.
My fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they can hear her, the brats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water. Swing me as far as your arm's strength gives release. And treasure long sunk I will grant thee. What do you say, kind knight? Will you return the King of Pearls to the sea, so he may yield you long-lost treasure?
Agreed. Let's send him home.
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might of your sea-bound bitch. The sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
Okay. So, do equipment. Hit R2. I'll pull up a big circle. Keep R2 down while you're circling through. And this is where... Oh, look, we got trunks. New bracers. Also view the rest of your inventory. Your character, which I've now gone up. So now I get to buy some extra traits. I don't have any points or anything else. Look at your skills, your log, blah blah blah. The trunks that you initially get, they're sassy pants. I'm not joking about that. You only need one shovel, ever. There's no need to load up all of your characters with shovels. These are waypoints. You can use them as you find them to teleport to different areas in the game. Right now, that's the only waypoint we have found. But you will find more. The really nice thing is no matter what starting class you pick, you can buy skills from other classes as you progress through the game. Oh, look.
Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Juniors. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. Not a single ord in sight, you know.
Just hold your tongue, will you, babies? Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Sightseal.
So, you're sorcerers, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, he'll squeeze the truth out of you, one way or another.
Excuse me? I'm not going to be pushed around by two inebriates. I say we sober them up, and quickly too. You let these lowly grunts order us around?
Now,
I thought you had more pride than that.
Arguments in this game. You play rock, paper, scissors.
Very well. Have it your way.
Of course, if you skip it, they automatically win the match.
By the Legion, will you? The punishment for that offence is death.
So now we have to fight them. This is not a good way to start off my game. Here I am, fighting the guys supposed to be guarding the city.
Your grave opens to welcome you.
Well, there we have it. 2 dead Legionnaires.
They deserved it, the cretins.
I'm not so sure anymore. It was a wicked thing we did.
I end up arguing with my NPCs a lot in this game. I want the arrow. Thank
I
you.
was really hoping to find something better.
But that's not so bad, because I will tell you, if you don't kill them, come along here, those guys are freaking cowards. They're going to hide right here while you go beat up orcs. Let's see how that stuff compares to what we've already got. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay. The thing I don't like about these orcs is they remind me a lot of World of Warcraft. Of course, I played Warcraft before it was an online internet. But still, it could have gotten a little creative. Okay. That shaman is going to be my primary target. I just spoiled.
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
The thing about that big oil slick, they will slip and slide on that stuff. And fortunately, our guys won't get in the oil too. Reach the shaman. No, there's a big orc in the way. Take him around here. Not enough extra points. Oh, it's like, seriously. still even here. Lord.
Seven, have mercy on your soul.
Can we come over here and beat him up now? Can we do that? Seriously, I can't hit him. Got all the way over there. Can't hit him. Oh, there's a cultist. Put me in that. Not enough people to get that far. Get halfway. Alright, let's see what he's got. Blue, no, that's red.
Flaming spear!
Oh, that was nice. Okay, we'll just leave you around.
Did you see
Joker
that?
leading those orcs?
Those orcs
Damn
had a
trigger.
human commander.
Where are Bibius and
How very
Junius?
curious.
They hear the
and how
fight.
very disquieting.
Okay, so now we go through here. Oh, got armor, healing potion. Yes, please. Walk around this way. No, no, I don't need a bone. I have a bone to pick with you people.
Filthy beasts! I'll kill the last one of you!
Can I talk to you?
Hi! The Source Hunter! Nice to see these winds are blowing more than bloody orcs our way. Welcome to Sicil, comrade. And, I'm not so different from any other soldier you'll meet around these parts. It's these orcs. Now that they have bees in their bonnets about God only knows, we need every hand we can get. That rat-faced shaman of theirs even went to the trouble of launching a fireball at a ship in the harbor to the west. They may need help. I'd go myself, but beats me what traitorous madness came over. Whatever the curse in...
Alright, so. Some kind of curse. Now the orcs can't seem to leave these poor people alone. Okay, cannot inspect the charred cedars.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss... Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years, the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives, there's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy such magic is a gift, Hunter? To tread upon to be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws but of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have once you're there, just take the stairs. But do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a bee. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu.
Sex, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
Can I cross here? Ooh, we can't. That's a chest. Ooh, take that. Take that. I'll definitely take that. Okay. Equipment. Does she equip that armor? That would probably be better for her.
Come on, Ben! Pull your backs into it!
Okay, to get somebody to identify that one now. Get his stuff. Sure, he would like some better armor.
So send in another thing.
first thing I should do is go explore over here.
What's this? I found something.
Girl, there's another dungeon over here, but I guess not.
Filthy beast! I'll kill a last one of you!
Let's just do this. Great. Okay, nice. I'll take that. Okay.
We need more help, or she's lost.
Must have let the flames straight to the harbour!
Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
The sheep's blazing ever higher!
Save this ship.
The ship's blazing even higher!
Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
The ship's blazing ever higher.
Come on, men! Put your backs into it!
The ship's blazing
Rain
ever higher.
nurtures our land.
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbor!
Dripping.
We did our good deed. We saved the ship.
I don't know how you did that. I thought the old...
And improved our reputation. And... just to see somebody. Another waypoint.
Says, we are colleagues, nothing more.
Come now. Salutations! Courteous is my name. This is a storing house.
Phrases elsewhere.
Everything in here is red, which means if you get seen taking it...
Well, a source hunter.
There's a nice little side story over here.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
Too bad indeed. Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves me.
An orc in love.
This place
When
reeks
this
of orc
little chap
stench.
fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough doom and gloom. Cast your gaze.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators,
really bad
not
fake Sean
pets.
Connery voice going here.
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile. But my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her.
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, well, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds? You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murderous darling.
This is a hard one.
You're right. The information she provides could well turn the tides here in Sicil.
Bravo! I trust not only the potion, but my scaly sweetheart in and of herself.
You're going to regret this. We're all going to regret this.
Alright. That's enough side stuff now. Who are you? Nobody is really important. Sorry. Where are we supposed to go? That's the warehouse. And over here in this void is a strange cave.
I can't even smell the sea
Trying
air
to see.
over this rock.
Esmeralda. Captain Urias. Our study. So, let me go up here.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Oh, there's a chest there. How do I get to that? Want me up there? I can't get to that chest. Well, that's a horrible way to taunt me. Okay, there's a hatch there, so eventually I have to find the hatch that leads to that hatch. Yes, you can talk to pretty much each and every single NPC in this game. I choose not to. Let's go here. Should be a door to this place somewhere. Nine-inch nails.
You there! A moment of your indulgence. No, scratch that. It is so much Mendius at your service. Oh, it's not...
So you mean to say we do not live a life of adventure? We don't do anything...
Clearly, two strong personalities stand before me. Two who voiced their opinion. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me, tell me truthfully, don't you sometimes...
And I can't say that I have. I'm content with what...
Well, don't quarrel about it on my account. Still, if a matter is divisive, it is divisive mainly because it is alluring. And riches are so very alluring. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders...
Better to be served than to serve, I concur.
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding, am I right? Of course I am. And I could help you attain the dream. Enact the change you deserve. And that is exactly why I am here. Why, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlong. You like nothing more than... What a gem of a question. Straight... Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship. To join a Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the... By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. Work hard. Fulfill contracts. Of course, of course, of course.
And me. May all the riches in the...
Marvelous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fabulous is the word. Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favors... One of them was a big lumbering apparatus. But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north towards a network of caves. Now, Oscar, luckily there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous Five. The braves who eat such monstrosities for breakfast. They call the undead a problem, my friend. But those who know the ways of the Fabulous Five see no problems. They see opportunities.
Okay, so... we have joined the Fabulous Five in the worst multi-level marketing scheme you have ever seen.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lying.
They send people out to die. They get the money. That's how it works. Okay. So we need to get in there. Do that without talking. Okay. Can't go in there without talking to the captain. So let's check our map again. How far are we from the captain? That's Esmeralda. Captain Arius. We'll be on up and over this way. It's been a while since I've played this. And just for you guys, I may actually try to play it all the way through and finish. That's Esmeralda. We gotta keep going this way.
Ah! So ardently did he crave creamy blooms and gory
You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
may have gotten lost.
Good to have you back, Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes indeed. The Legion stands at the... You don't look like you're quite ready to head out into... Thank you for heeding my words of...
Blah, 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 blah. How do I get to where I'm wanting to go? I get lost so easily. It's sad and pathetic. Hey, I'm actually getting where I'm supposed to be going. Yay!
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face, Furious. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side.
Ice blue eyes narrow beneath the heavy...
Her brow knits together, but something in her pose relaxes. She clears her throat. I am Bear Daughter. I have not come here to find trouble with the Screech woman. She only startled me. And you are a Source Hunter. I have heard many tales of your order. Your history is long and honorable. This woman here, the one who now plots her revenge, she crept behind me while I was hunting, and I only defended myself. I would not hurt an innocent Screech woman on purpose. But soon their swords were upon me, and they forced me into this cage meant for dogs. Mother would rip the fur from her chest if she could see how they keep me.
Okay, so
you don't
Bear
think it's in
Daughter.
fact to pay. Who's that then? Come on, stand where my good...
Easy, Tull. That's the Source Hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another Legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Tully's a bit of a bitch. Now we can talk to Bear Daughter.
Source Hunter, I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
Attention! About face! To the barracks!
It is difficult for me to claim humanity as you do. I am still learning to see myself in the faces of those I meet. And those I meet do not always see themselves in me. It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I am glad that now I have you standing beside me.
Okay.
Sorry,
the
sir.
deal with Bear Daughter is her family was killed and she was adopted by a pack of bears in the wild. She
Good
grew
luck
up
out
in the
there,
wild.
Hunter. Evil lurks beyond Syceel's ramparts.
Where is that door?
Sorry, sir.
There's the door. Open. Okay. so first thing I need to do, talk to this guy. He has a stick up his ass.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear?
Yeah.
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number. Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition.
Hello?
If you must.
Is this a robot? This is a robocall. No, take my name off your call list. I'm on the do not call registry. I love it when robots call your phone when you're on the do not call registry, and then with the robotic voice try to tell you that they're not a robot.
Bravo! Figured, how am I enjoying it? We are the pride of Rivalon. To be found, I'd say they're looking for weeks. Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. You'll be seeing flying carpets next.
Arias, why is your head so far up your butt? And let's go talk to what's his name now. Aru.
Source Hunter, welcome, but certainly. What would you... Oh, I am but a wizard, a guardian of man and beast, and indeed I am both. My task upon this earth, you see, my one desire is to witness a work. To my great regret, none of them purr as yet. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's such to be out and... But of course it's Oh, that'll never. I'm my own wizard, you know. By all means. Of course. I can, but they say a woman... I say man and woman, because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, it took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter them. How and why he came to be there, I myself have none. Even though the rest of the town has already mentally tried and convicted Jake's... Now, it may well be established that she is, in fact, the guilty party. I can't say much more, but that they're madmen. And what might those be? Oh, a mere trifle for one with the intellect of a feline and the engineering skills of a human. You basically construct a classic ballista, add a 100%...
Alright, so... next is to investigate crime scene. Somebody else to talk to down here? Oh, there is a hatch. There's somebody guarding it, so I can't steal anything. I can talk to these guys. That's what
Source hunter or no, not a single non-legionnaire is permitted into the treasure room. Pockets have a pesky habit of growing extra deep in such places.
Quiet! No talking to these scoundrels, criminal scum!
Okay, so a lot of the Legionnaire evidently has sticks up their butts. So we've started our investigation. In the next episode, we will be checking out the crime scene.